If you're new here, you don't know that I've had over 800 high-end statues sitting on this table. That's right, I recently counted them down in this video right here. You also don't know that over the last almost 2.5 years now, I've been getting rid of this hobby and trying to get out. Despite the fact these high-end collectibles are everywhere in my house. Okay, that's not true. They're in about 1/4 of it. Despite the fact I have a YouTube channel that puts out thousands of videos about these high-end collectibles. And despite the fact I may have been addicted to buying this shit. You know, I talked about it in this recent video about statue addictions right here. And many people have asked, hey Mr. X, as you're going through this process of from 800 statues down to 10, are you really going to 10, Mr. X? Who knows? It'd be kind of cool if you walked us through this process. I was going to say journey, but that's so dumb. I'm not Indiana Jones. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme Channel. Normally, when I do a video, I have a little bit of an outline of what I'm going to talk about. Today, it's just the concept. So I'm going to do a video on this progression over the last 2.5 years. In November 2022, I made this video saying why I'm tired of collecting and why I'm going to get out. And I've purchased hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of high-end statues, graded comics, autographed memorabilia, and I still purchase some from time to time. In fact, the day I'm making this video, I just purchased a really awesome $1 million baby setup. You know, Clint Eastwood, Hilary Swank, one of my favorite movies. So I think this video is gonna have 2 parts. One part now, then probably another part about a year from now. So at one time, I would buy 5 to 20 of these high-end collectibles per month. And when I say buy, maybe I would buy it and it would be shipped right away. Maybe I would buy it and it would be on pre-order for 2 or 3 years. And at one point, I owned hundreds and I had hundreds more on order. I can happily tell you that right now, I have less than 25 on order. There's been a really fucking long tail on this bitch of retiring from collecting, but I'm almost there. So this first video right here that we're gonna do today is kind of from when I decided to do it, why I decided to do it, all the way up to today and the obstacles and things I've had to go through. Now, thankfully, none of that has really been mental issues. It's actually been pretty easy to let go of a hobby I loved so much. Maybe because I'm still fully enthralled in it, or maybe frankly, painted rock isn't that important. So when I initially decided to do this in November of 2022, it was for a number of reasons. One, I realized I'd spent millions on buying collectibles. That's kind of a wake-up call. Thankfully, I've been blessed to have the means and success to do that. Another thing was just how much room, time, and space this hobby was taking up. Not only from the high-end statue displays to the stuff that's hung on the wall, but even, as you guys know, I hate the boxes. The boxes are the worst part. So I decided, you know what? Instead of buying 5 to 20 per month, I'm gonna sell 5 to 20 per month. And I've now been doing that for about 28 months. So as soon as I started doing this, about 3 months later, I had a big life change. It had to do with one of my companies and one of my careers. And because of that, it kind of accelerated this. What I mean is, in this office right here, I had 150 statues displayed. And not only was I gonna move out of this office, but this office also stored all of my boxes for free. So instead of moving 150 statues to my home, which frankly I didn't have room for, and having to spend $1,000 a month on storage units, which I did at one time, and I'm about half of that now, I decided let's start selling these like crazy. So again, this was about 3 or 4 months after I was 100% cemented into this process of, hey, let's start getting out of the hobby. And there was another big event that I will actually tell you about towards the end of this video that precipitated all of this and pushed it even further, especially with that November 2022 video. Now, it wasn't as easy as I thought. And what I mean by that is I still had that itch to buy new pieces. But what was funny is as I transitioned onto selling was just as exciting as buying. Mr. X, what do you mean? Why is that exciting? Well, literally, I would put up a for sale video, and this was 2.5 years ago when the economy was a little bit better, and within 4 hours, I would have $15,000 additional dollars in my account. That feels pretty good. But I gotta tell you, selling these is a bitch on so many levels. So first of all, you have to box them up. And again, the storage unit, unfortunately, is about 20 minutes from my house because there aren't a lot of storage availability where I live. It's a very popular area. You have to get the box. You'd have to box it up, make sure it's not broken, find all the pieces, which to be frank, some of the pieces I could not find, and find somewhere to stage this. because I have a pretty full schedule, not only with work and family, but traveling and sports. So I couldn't box up 20 statues in one day. It would take a month, and I'd have to stage them somewhere until I put them up for sale. And I'm one of those people, when I sell something, I want to be able to ship it to you pretty quick. So for the most part, I want to have them ready before I even put them up for sale. Plus, when I box them up, it allows me to take a look and see if there's any defects I may have forgotten or not known about. However, I've been doing this consistently with the help of my awesome wife, Mrs. X. And sometimes when I travel so much, she will actually box up the statues for me. She's a keeper for sure. So I've been doing this, and as I've been doing this, I'm getting new statues in, and I have to decide which ones am I going to keep, which ones am I going to get rid of. Not only that, but my displays are constantly evolving. Not only what statues are paired with what statues, but where they are at, and even the display shelving that they're on. It seems like I'm constantly churning that over and over. Behind the camera, you can't see, I have 3 different sets of Maja cases that I set up 3 months ago. Now, there's one statue left on all 3 of those Maja cases, and I don't know what to do with those because I'm getting rid of them. And that brings another problem I've ran into. All these display shelves I have, whether they are Maja cases or industrial shelving or that home and garden stuff I used to use or some custom shelving, I don't know what to do with. I could probably put it on my curb and say, hey, whoever wants this, take it. Maja cases are really expensive and they're hard to get, but it's kind of hard to ship them once you've actually put them together. So I have a lot of the display case in one of my storage areas here in the home, not actually in the storage unit. And I have one storage unit left. It's a 40 by 10 and it's still almost all the way full with boxes. But I've narrowed it down to 1 and I continue to funnel out more and more. I'll probably never get rid of it while I'm in this hobby. The hope is that I can, but it's probably a couple years off, unfortunately, which sucks because I'm still paying $600 a month. Because the other part of this, as you've noticed if you've watched my for sale videos that launch at the end of every month, and if you want to check those out, make sure you've subbed to the channel and hit the bell notification, is that not everything sells right away, even at dirt cheap prices, due to a lot of things going on in the world right now. So I have to hold on to them for longer than I would traditionally want to, or I have to decide, do I really want to take a bloodbath on this? If I bought it for $1,000, do I want to sell it for $400? Mrs. X is watching this right now, maybe saying, hell no you don't, I'd rather hold on to it. So maybe the storage unit is worth it. So I could probably make like a 10-episode series on the specifics and intricacies of all this, but really the last thing I want to cover today is how do I decide what I'm going to sell? Well, that's pretty easy. I've done a number of videos on what's my favorite characters to collect, what's my favorite collection, what's my favorite line. And while that does play some into it, some of it is just logistics. What's easier to sell? What's more wanted in the market right now? So for example, last month I sold all my Berserk pieces, which are some of my favorite, but I know they're highly wanted in the market and I probably wouldn't lose any money, if not make a profit on some of them. So it was an easy display to get rid of for that reason. When I first started, it was really easy. It was, what characters do I have duplicates of? Okay, I have 14 different Magneto statues. I probably only need 1, maybe 2. I have 30 different Venom statues. I can easily knock that down. However, that only takes you so far. And then I had to decide, okay, what intellectual properties or themes do I want to get rid of? This wasn't necessarily, hey, I am more attached to this intellectual property, so I want to keep it. So for example, I got rid of almost all my Star Wars stuff. I love Star Wars. Star Wars is one of the best intellectual properties out there. But I didn't love all the statues from it as much as I love the X-Men statues behind me. And it was really easy at first. So I made a list of like the 40 different themes that I had. Yes, it was like 40. And easily it's like, okay, these 10 can go. But then it got more and more difficult. Kind of. As you let stuff go and you're able to get that money into your bank account, it actually gets easier and easier. So of those 40, I'm actually down to 10. I have 10 different theme setups. That's it. And I'm still getting rid of a few of them. And in each setup, I'm still getting rid of a few statues. Now, what has this done for you besides loaded up your bank account, saved you some space? It's done a number of things. First of all, my wife and I, we've always been really close, but this brings us even closer because she likes selling them too because she likes money. Who doesn't? So we do these projects together, whether it's boxing stuff up, repairing statues, and she is fully involved in the statue world now. And I know she did that for me, so that's fantastic. That's number 1. Number 2, what I hinted at the beginning of the video, I actually finally got my season tickets for the Denver Nuggets. And I got them just in time because they ended up winning the championship that year. So I'd been so stoked. And on top of that, the following year, I finally got my season tickets for the Denver Broncos, While they suck as a team, as you've seen in some of my videos, it is so fun to go to the games. And I gotta tell you, while I enjoy the art around me and I love this stuff here, those memories that I'm making at the games are second to none. Not only memories at the games, but also when I made that big lifestyle change a few months after November of 22, I went from traveling 20 to 25 weeks a year to traveling 50 weeks a year, which has opened up so many doors for my family and I where I can work remotely. The year I started statue retiring, not only due to the funds, but due to the timing and availability, I took my children on 9 different vacations. 9 vacations in 1 year. In fact, I believe when this is launching, we're actually in the Caribbean. And we're gonna get back for 3 weeks, and then we're gonna head back down there. And spending time with my family, whether it's my wife or my teenage children, I think you can't even put a price tag on when you can easily put a price tag on these statues behind me. So I have 0 regrets on what I did. It was the best decision I ever made. I'm gonna do a room tour video for you guys later this year, but I fully expect in 2 years, it's very possible I only have anywhere from 10 to 20 statues. I'm still holding at probably 100 right now, to be frank with you, but I have plans to sell at least 50 more this year. So have you ever thought about getting out of the hobby? Let me know in the comments below. It seems difficult, but it's really not. I will tell you that now. It's really not at all. You know it's really hard? Trying to give up drinking. Actually, when I'm filming this, I'm on day 4 without drinking. Don't worry, I'm not giving it up. I just haven't drank anything in 4 days. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you want to make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Very different video. I hope it didn't go on too long because I was unscripted, but just like sharing with you guys. I appreciate you for watching. Talk to you soon. Take care.